to the Adventure of Pipeman on W4CY Radio.
Wake up, America! It's time for the Adventures of Pipeman on W4CY.com, West Palm Beach's #1 internet radio station. Here's your host, the Pipeman. Angels. They try to own us and control us so we don't get in the way, but we get in the way. Won't take no shit, won't be no.
This is Pipeman here on the Adventures of Pipeman W4CY Radio, and I'm here with...
Hey, I'm Daniel.
And this is Mark, and we're from Nothing More.
Yes, here at Rocklahoma, man. I can't even remember because it all floats in my head. Have you ever played this festival before?
Yeah, we played it. Is this our fourth time or third? Three or four from 2017. Yeah, I think that was the first year. So we're veterans. We love
There
it
you
here.
go.
Yeah.
It is a cool festival, isn't it? And now that Danny Wimmer took over, it's even better.
Yeah, we love Danny, love everything he does, and yeah, we're pumped to see the festival grow. And not that there were any problems with it before, but I'm sure it's going to be amazing. So.
But when Danny's in charge, it's going to be even better. Even if it's good, it's going to be better.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Take us to the top, Danny.
There it is. And I love what you said because I have yet to hear one artist ever say anything bad about performing at Danny Wimmer Festival.
He really knows how to do it right. We've played a lot of festivals, and he's the man. He really thinks about every aspect of it, from the artist lounge to catering to the stages to the sound to the lights to all the advertisement. He just does a great fucking job.
Because it takes a lot of the stress off you guys, right? Like, nothing's more stressful to come to a festival and deal with load-in bullshit, sound bullshit, and every other bullshit, and then not even get fed. Like, there's some festivals, you know what happens.
Yeah, but festivals a lot of times feel like war zones, like
Yeah, right?
Your gear has to get traveled across a muddy pit to the stage, and it's like if something's going to go wrong, it's always going to be at a festival. You have the least amount of time, the most amount of other bands just backed up on you. When things go wrong, you go late, you're pissing off the most amount of people you'll ever piss off in your career. So,
no doubt.
Yeah, organization's a big deal.
Absolutely. And even stuff like this, media. I did one festival, I won't name which one, but they were making artists walk through GA to get to the media tent.
Yeah, bad news bears.
What the fuck is that? I mean, come on. And so let's talk about the new album because pretty badass.
Hey, thanks. Yeah, we think it's pretty cool.
It feels like a breath of fresh air for us. After COVID, we were all separate, living in separate states, and so we really file shared the entire record. So getting into Carnal, we finally got back together in the same room, felt the chemistry, the synergy, and I feel like when you listen to it, you hear all that energy. It's very exciting.
It's a big difference, right?
We're pumped about it, love all the songs, and love that people are loving it.
I have this philosophy, though, that if you were to take something positive out of COVID for artists, is that you had a chance to jump off that hamster wheel and get creative again. And some of the best music ever will come out of that time.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And I think that's true for everyone. I was curious to see what, if there'd be a bunch of new inventions coming out of it, because now all these people aren't allowed to, go to a normal job anymore. It's like, let's see what happens. So,
and you have all this time to be able to actually think.
Yeah.
Instead of, we got to write this album while we're on the tour bus to the next gig that we're doing over and over and over and over and over again. And you get a chance to also reevaluate as a band where you want to go.
Yeah, very true.
You were going to say something.
Oh, I was just going to make a joke about convenience. Now we're more lazy, DoorDash thrived. Zoom thrived. It's great. It is great, though, as far as, people commuting to work. Now companies are okay with people working from home.
Yeah.
If you could do the job, why not?
As long as the job gets done, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And if somebody's happier, there's some people that they hate go into their job, but they like their job.
Yeah.
So if they could stay home, they have the best of both worlds.
Well said. Yeah, I agree, and I am really proud of the Spirits record. That's the record we did through COVID. It was a frustrating process because of us being separate. But like you said, we did get really creative. I think our most progressive moments as a band are on that record. So pretty cool.
I also think a lot of artists learned how to do things themselves so they don't have to depend on others or the bullshit that can happen depending on others.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. It's funny, at this point in our career, like, we became, I feel like, the super DIY band because it took us 10 years to get signed. So after Spirits was kind of our last big DIY venture with the album. And so Carnal, we went with producer Drew Folk, and it's been a really cool change for us, I think. You know, like once you start working regularly with a producer, there's always kind of that fear that the band sound's going to change, or, you know, you'll get either sold on something that's no longer your sound or kind of forced into something else. But it's been really cool to kind of put down the self-production thing and trust someone like Drew to help us make like a really badass record. So that's what Carnal is.
That is way cool. And so basically, you guys, tell me if I'm wrong, but you're here at Rocklahoma partially in part by Danny actually showing up at one of your gigs. I think it was on the Strip or Troubadour or something like that. I can't remember where the story comes from, but
Yeah, actually, so Danny's employee, I forgot what he was doing exactly, Clay Bush, saw us. We were doing this tour with Adrenaline Mob. We played at the Roxy in LA. He got stoked on us, told Danny, he's like, you have to put this band on a festival. So we played Welcome to Rockville 2013. I think it was May or something like that.
yeah,
I remember driving there.
In Jacksonville.
I pulled over, slept too long, like made our band almost late to the gig. So, like we got there, you know, loaded our stuff on stage real quick, wham bam, did the set, and Danny did catch it. He caught just the last song, I think. And then as we were coming off stage, I think he went to shake my hand. It was like, thanks, man. I got to load. We got to get off this stage. There's another band coming. That's great. You know?
Love it.
But he was like, no, you don't understand. Like, this is my festival. And we ended up talking more. We went over to catering, and he was just sold, wanted to be a part of it. And honestly, Danny is a huge reason why we got signed, why our first album, self-titled, on a label, did so well, because he really believed in it. He did manage the band through that record cycle, most of it at least. And then obviously his festival business took off, so he kind of needed to do maybe more important, expensive things. But we have so much love and respect for that man.
Well, and you know what, too? The fact that you have a story like yours and other bands at these festivals have similar stories, that's why his festivals are so successful, is because he is artist-oriented and he understands the business of an artist. Most of these festival producers, I don't even know if they really understand the music business at all. And that's why these are like a well-oiled machine.
Yeah, it's cool to have someone, you know, when you're unsigned and you're not on the radio and all that, those are such unconquerable tasks for you. You know, how do you cross that line into that world? And yeah, it's cool to have a guy running literally the biggest festivals in the nation, like scouting unsigned bands and like
that's what he
making
does.
And putting them in front of people. And, you know, like Mark was saying, like we played Aftershock, I guess before that festival. Oh, that was after it? Yeah, and, you know, unsigned, and he first slot, first day, smallest stage, you know, literally opened the festival, and then there was an opening up the second day main stage at like 3 p.m., and he put us on.
Nice.
And after that, it was, you know, labels were interested, and it's just really a neat thing that he did. So yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, he just made a bold move, and he took a big risk, and that's very respectable, you know. It's awesome that
they don't
he'd
do that nowadays.
And it paid off for us, for sure. Big deal.
What's kind of funny is going to that Jacksonville festival, the vans, I take care of the van, or I used to when we had it, and the transmission literally went out in the parking lot. Like, rolled, just coasted into a spot where we could unload, and it's like destiny.
I
And
know,
then-
right?
And then Aftershock, the exact same thing. Like, it was overheating the entire way,
Wow.
driving San Antonio through the desert to the West Coast, pull in, like, I think it was idling in park, and the water pump pulley sheared off the front of the engine. And that's what I spent my evening doing. I've got a runner to take me to Napa, got a new water pump, got a new pulley, got a new belt.
I love
and
these stories.
Just
This is
installed it at the festival, and it's like, yeah, that thing held on literally until the last second because we were supposed to be here.
and
so.
people don't understand this is what you really go through.
Yeah.
They just think, oh, look, they're famous, they're playing on a festival, and boy, they have the life. It's so easy. And so that's why I love to hear these stories, because it's far from easy to be in your business, for sure. And that's why it's great to have champions like Danny Wimmer that make it easier on you. I don't know. Do you know the story about Silly Goose?
Kind of like more the viral sort of sensation, TikTok sort of blow up. Tell me.
I was there. They did the old school punk rock thing at Rockville. They showed up with a trailer that sets up into a stage in the parking lot and played without permission. And Danny Wimmer heard about it and went out. And instead of like kicking them out and being pissed, he just stood and watched them. And then the next day, they were playing on the real stage.
That's badass. Of course he would do that.
Right?
It's awesome.
I love, that's what I love about it, because it's guys like you, Silly Goose, and everybody else. They're the future of music, okay? And listen, we have bands like Slipknot that are headlining tonight. How much longer are they going to be around? You need the new coming in for metal and rock to stay alive for years to come. And I think that's all because of Danny Wimmer bringing bands like you into the mix.
You're right. There are those people in the industry, those cornerstone, people that really help usher in the new era. And he's absolutely doing his part. And we can only do our part with bringing out cool bands.
Yeah.
That is important. Yes, there's always going to be a business decision. This band's blowing up. Oh, we need to take these guys out. We got to pay this favor. But, on this tour, we're bringing out our boys in Post Profit, small Texas band.
Nice.
Really love them, really believe in them. And it's, you have to pay it forward.
I was just going to say, so you're paying it forward. I love it. See, that's what this industry's about. Unity, everybody helping each other. I think the world could learn a lot from the music people, like the artists, the listeners. We should all be in charge of politics, and we wouldn't have all this bullshit going on around the world.
Pipeman for president.
You heard it first.
Actually, that wasn't first. You know what's so funny about that?
Uh-oh.
I actually, every presidential election, I have a campaign, and I have a banner that says Pipeman for Prez. We have a
Wow.
commercial where it's Bill Clinton saying, it's Bill Clinton. I did not have sexual relations with that woman. I get on, I'm like, I'm Pipeman. If you vote me for president, I will have sexual relations with that woman.
You have our full support.
See? And the funniest shit about that is in 2016, I didn't want to vote for anybody because I fucking hate all the politicians. So I wrote myself in as a candidate. 5 of my listeners voted for me.
Nice.
I was like, that's funny as shit.
Hell yeah.
So there you go. Now I have my other new platform. I'll do my live show this week about having the music industry take over politics and get rid of politicians.
That's a great idea. I'm glad you do that.
See, there you go. And like Danny Wimmer could be like what's the position he could be in? He could be like the Secretary of State or some shit like that. Oh, man. So tell everybody, they should know, but in case they don't, how they can reach out to you guys on socials, on the web, buy your merch, because that's the most important thing nowadays in this business. Check out your tour dates, new music, everything.
You said it. Just Google Nothing More. Everything's there. Everyone knows how to do it.
I know.
Our music's everywhere. We're stoked. We're on tour right now. We'll be on tour for the next 8 weeks-ish or so. I'm really excited about the Carnival tour. We get to do some Godsmack dates.
Nice.
Get to play some more Danny Wimmer festivals. Louder Than Life's going to be sick. Aftershock is also going to be sick. Yeah, just really
Aftershock's
pumped
my
about these
favorite.
shows. Yes, it's a good one.
That Media Artist Lounge is the coolest place ever. It's like the only festival that I actually don't care that I don't make it out of the media tent. You know?
You're well taken care of.
Exactly. So, anything else you guys want to share with the listeners before I let you go that we haven't covered?
We're going to Finland.
Whoa!
Helsinki, here we come.
Nice. Love it. Well, thanks, guys, for being here at Rocklahoma and killing it, you know, at all the festivals, all the Danny Wimmer festivals. And thanks for being on the Adventures of Pipeman.
Thanks for having us. Pipeman for president.
There it is.
Hey, this is Daniel,
And this is Mark, and we're from Nothing More.
and you are listening to the future President Pipeman on W4CY Radio.
Thank you for listening to the Adventures of Pipeman on W4CY Radio.